Video,
Gotcha.
leave the video off,
That's probably better anyway.
start recording. And then.
There's Ben.
Hi, Ben. You like an agenda or you have one?
I don't have one. Extra.
So it's actually front end. So let me make sure we're be live on YouTube here. Not exciting, we're gonna be on YouTube. We are live on YouTube, folks.
We need the video.
Yeah, I'm sorry
Go
that
viral on
the-
TikTok.
Thank you.
unfortunately, the Deborah and I worked on it for a half hour. We could not get the video to work, so
That's not good.
we restarted it. We don't know what's going on, so I'm just gonna leave it off so that people can see this and they can hear us.
Okay. Okay, this is the February 2nd, 2026 City of Fairview Parks Advisory Committee meeting. I now call to order, and we'll start with a roll call. And we start with Ben, and we'll go this way.
Here, is it? Yes. Oh, state your name. Oh, sorry, Ben Pointer, present.
Russ Williams, present.
Marsh Santoro, present.
Bob Dolphin, present.
Steve Marker, council liaison, present.
Nathan George, city manager.
Karina McGuire, present member.
Karina says welcome and thanks for volunteering to join this board. So it's welcome.
I'm excited to be here,
Yeah.
especially. I've had so many years of service
Yeah.
in Fairview. It's fun to continue it.
Okay, so the first item of business is approval of the September 8th minutes. And fortunately with the change, we don't have those available to us tonight. So we'll have to just postpone that.
I have them.
You got them?
I has, oh, no, I guess I don't have the minutes. I have to get you.
Yeah. We'll have to just delay that to the next meeting.
Yeah.
It's not,
Probably approve two of them at once.
it's not that big of a deal. Okay, so one of the things you talked about it last time was, brainstorming ideas. Okay,
Do we want to do the election now or at the end of the meeting? Your call.
either way, I think it would be better if I just ran the meeting anyway. If we get.
Oh, no, that it wouldn't be effective till next month anyway.
Yeah. We can do it now.
Yeah, you can just add that.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Okay, so we need to do elections. So I've been chair for multiple years. And, last time we had to go to the city council for approval for me to continue. So I obviously I'm looking for volunteers, if somebody is interested. And Ben was vice chair. So, I mean, that's, I think you probably have to fill in maybe.
Are you wanting to be chair this time around for continuity since you've been?
Yeah, I could step in that.
Yeah, because it makes sense for someone who's helped kind of take, if you're done.
Well, I think it's,
I think Bob would like to stay in the position.
I don't feel like, it's not much work. So it's not like it's killing me to do it. Okay, but all I really do is run the meetings and I help with the agenda, and occasionally Steve, I get contact occasionally by staff or Steve with a question, but that's about it. So
And sometimes
I move that Bob and Ben remain in their current positions.
sounds good. How does everybody feel?
We need a second.
Second.
Oh,
okay, it's been first and seconded. All in favor, say aye. Congratulations, Ben and Bob. Okay, so the Parks Master Plan update, for ideas, these are things that, what the number was, 25,000, Nathan? I think is it?
Well, I actually quite a few updates.
Okay, if you want, yeah,
If you're okay with me kind of
yep,
let me know some things,
sure,
that's okay.
yeah.
Okay, first of all, those who don't know, John Yama retired at the end of December. So he's gone. Although you may see him if you come to our budget meeting well, it's not an official budget meeting, but it's a general fund update meeting on Wednesday of this week. You'll actually see him there. So John retired and I've hired as an interim public works director. He couldn't make it tonight. His name is Bob Cochran, and he was actually the city engineer and public works director from 1997 to 2010. So he came back and he's been with us since the beginning of January. And he's only got a month left before he leaves us again. But working on recruiting a new public works director. So we're in the works. Not anybody yet. So if you know of anybody who's interested, please tell them to apply if they qualify. What I wanted to talk to you about is a couple of things. Can I just take a few minutes here?
Sure.
Okay. First of all, if you are very interested to come to our meeting on Wednesday, we have a work session with council at 5 o'clock. Starts at 5 o'clock because we have a very long agenda to talk about. And it's already posted on the website, but we're going to be talking about utilities. We've just completed our utility rate studies. We'll be talking about utilities, and we're going to be talking about the general fund. And our general fund is in a very, very bad place for a lot of reasons. So we right now, in our models, you'll see we have absolutely zero money in capital for anything, especially parks.
Yep.
Zero money. Lucky if we can keep maintaining them. So that is really difficult. If we're able to get the money for things, we can do a lot of cool things, but we got a long ways to go. We have a really serious issue with our finances.
Right.
If you want to come talk to me, I can give you a lot more detail what's going on, but it's a systemic problem. It's been happening for a very long time. So anyway, it's very sad.
I've heard some on it and, you know, it's really sad that
I saw some
our
of the
city is
numbers,
this
yeah.
higher of a
It's,
financial.
it's very sad.
I saw the numbers and also asking for that $20 safety fee from the residents is not gonna like I said, it's not not making up very much. And to ask more of us, it's not gonna make up much of it either. And we're still lacking quite a bit at the top there.
Yeah, it is. If you come on Wednesday, we've got a lot of proposals to council, but the biggest thing we're going to talk about is just so council gets a full picture. But I got to tell you, this council, I don't just say this because Steve's here, but it's the best council I've ever worked with in 25 years. They're fantastic. They're supportive and they want to do the right thing. It's a lot going on.
Mhm.
Great council, mayor. I really say that. I really mean that. That's true. Great community too. Just for fun, my wife and I just bought a house here, so we live in too.
Oh,
You did that just for fun, huh?
No, I'm sharing that just for fun.
Okay.
I don't have to share that. I'm sharing it.
That was a joke.
Yeah, so we're here in Fairview too. Anyway, so that's where we are on our capital budgets. The other thing I wanted to tell you that one of the things I talked to council last summer, I think, talking about, and we talked a lot about this, is kind of really looking at our advisory board. What are the roles of advisory board? And we dug a lot into the PSAC meeting. And advisory boards are really great, but looking at the structure of how they're working, I think in the past, there hasn't been much
Advising.
It hasn't been much advising, right? Exactly. And I think the other disconnect, we actually had a really healthy discussion at PSAC, and one of the things that Councilor Copeland said, which was very good, is like there's not a lot of connection between the council and advisory board. Doesn't feel like the advisory board's really, with the council, like you get us. I mean, the council marker probably gives one of the biggest updates of all the boards when he gets up, but the councils give their update, and it's like not a lot. There's not really a board discussion or participation. So
Right.
I'm looking at ideas, and what I just ask of all of you, if you wanted to put together ideas to submit to me, it's going to be a bit before I take it back to council. We just have too much going on, but I want to eventually put together some ideas. An idea could be meeting once a month in a work session with the council, talking, not once a month, excuse me, once a year.
Once a year.
Once a month would not, that would
No,
work.
it works.
Not with all advisory committees we have, but
Once a year.
meeting at least once a year. We actually have a work session with the whole advisory committee, sit down. And I think it's the biggest vision for me on a taking a look at other cities, what they do. But the biggest thing about it is parks is, having the opportunity when we have money, especially things we want to do. I know Ben's got some things he'd like to do in the park, and the things that we want to do, and take those things. And then council will say, yeah, we have the money for it. We're directing staff to do something. And then the advisory committee's purpose is to sit and study it and say, hey, what are we, what are we envisioning? So council says, if they say, hey, city manager, we want you to take, you've got $1 million, well, that'd be great. Dollars for these 2 parks, what can you do with them? And that's where we take a look at the master plan, and we might say, hey, master plan, for example, the Fairview Woods, our master plan basically just says it's a wetland with no improvements. So that could be opportunity, like, okay, maybe there could be some improvements because we have the funding. And the council could then take that back. It's very similar to the planning commission. If you have a planning commission, they have a lot of their own authority, but if they have something they're recommending, what they'll do is the staff will bring it to them, they review it, and then you take it back to council. It's like, okay, this has been to the planning commission. Planning commission recommends it or doesn't recommend it. Here are their comments. It's very common. This is what I've done in a lot of cities. And then the situation, all things to do with parks come before the council. It'll be like literally in the report. It would say, okay, this was discussed at the Parks Advisory Committee. These are the comments, these are the suggestions, these is a recommendation for or against or different ideas. And that's how the Parks Committee in many ways can really get in, really in focus. And I think I already told you this before, but one of the things too I'm going to recommend, I already recommend the council, but it's not been finalized, is removing the word recreation from there, because we already have a recreation department, we already have a recreation board. Yeah.
Right.
So, and there's 2 parts to our recreation. The biggest one is our plays, is our programming. The other one we have is we have city events, like the Easter, we have, Summer Festival, which is formerly called Fairview on the Green. We've rebranded it. Council rebranded it to say Summer Festival because it was just,
Love it.
yeah, it was just, it's very, very confusing for people, very confusing, but we
So
love the
they
history.
rebranded it, why?
It's very confusing. We got a lot of comments just continually every year. People are very confused. They think it's a golf tournament.
Oh,
Even the vendors come
Okay.
about the golf tournament. People are confused, think they can't bring their kids. It's just one of those things that I think if our city wasn't named Fairview, like if you had Troutdale on the green, it would probably make sense. But it's because Fairview. First time I came, every time I'm like, oh, golfing, because it's Fairview on the green, so it's golf. But
Okay.
anyway,
okay.
so the city has rebranded that recently. So that'll be it's the Summerfest. It's the Fairview Summerfest or Summerfest.
Yes, it's Fairview
Summer
Summer
Fest.
Festival. Yep, Fairview Summer
So
Festival.
we had to, we did a lot around trying to get that changed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, committee. A lot of us on the committee were all that on Fairview. The name, because it was confusing.
Yeah.
For years. I'm glad it finally.
And that's funny because when I first heard it, I knew there was no golf course in Fairview, so it did not confuse me at all, even though I've only been in Fairview for 7 years. Okay, so it didn't confuse me at all. And I haven't gone to Fairview on the green but maybe 3 or 4 years now too. So that's interesting that it confused as many people as you're saying, because I'm like, really? Didn't confuse me at all because there's no golf course in Fairview, so why would I think it was golfy?
Right. Well, and that makes sense when I live here, but a lot of people who are visiting or vendors who came in, they were confused and they've been frequently asking our recreation department. But you can thank our recreation department,
Okay.
and you can thank our good council who. So,
Yeah.
Cool.
um,
That'll be interesting.
And we're now packed.
yeah, Pat.
Closest thing we ever got to golf was a scavenger hunt.
So I think what I'm recommending is this, we just table this number 3. I mean, we just kind of, you put that on on the future concept board, And there's no reason to waste our time brainstorming capital ideas. Everybody
Yeah.
agree with that?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I
But
think
these
that's-
are ideas we can work on our own and maybe make up
If
Are there,
if we have a goal that we really want, if we can find sponsors, if we can find grants to help, like if we.
I was gonna say, I emailed a list, it didn't make it on the agenda, but that's part of my recommendations. I don't know where they fell in. If
Yeah,
alternative funding for parks, explore opportunities for regional, state, federal funding. Second was grant collaboration with community and nonprofit partners, which is written
Yeah.
into and then community-based maintenance and partners, stewardship approaches, which is written into the prior master plan, working with SALT team, friends of, to pick up the slack where it's needed. There's a lot of trained volunteer assets and groups out there that carry liability insurance, checks all the boxes that can help with these funding gaps and opportunities.
And that's what I was gonna say is, other thing we talked about, try to generate is a work plan. Okay, and so.
Does like capital versus work.
Yeah, what
are they-
that I think is like a work plan, and how I worded it was brainstorm how to manage city costs, maintain existing parks. Pocket parks, HOAs, how can friends groups help? How can we explore, potential grant opportunities, That would be something that this group could potentially do legwork on, and whereas I see this next 4, 5, and 6 are kind of in the work plan too. Fishing day is that something we're gonna put in our work plan, right? I think that last time you met, that was, you don't see it?
I'll give you an update on,
Okay,
let me give you an update real quick on fishing day. So, Head Start is really, really sorry. They are not going to be able to do it this year. They do not have the staffing. And with that being said, it will not be done this year.
Mhm.
Because without Head Start, we cannot do it.
Yep.
So I wanted
I
to let
agree.
everybody here know before I sent out my emails to all my other partners. I feel really bad about this.
Mhm.
This is one of my best and biggest events that I enjoy doing. You guys know that. I put a lot of work into this event. I put a lot of hours into this event. And I was on the phone with Head Start for weeks. And they said, could you just wait till we get back to you? And boy, I was. And 4 people disappeared that I had emails from them, and they were trying to find out how they could do this, and they just couldn't staff it. And due to staffing and funding that was lost, all across the state, we just couldn't make it work this year. So I feel really bad, you guys,
That's,
but it's something that's
We
off
move
our
on.
plate, right?
we
That,
move on.
that we can at least take off our plate and at
Yeah.
least take a kind of bit of a sigh and say, hey, let's, get some other things going.
Yeah, and I'm sorry to hear that. I will say that it's been a concern of mine because if you have a group and we're limiting a group of people to do something active in one of our areas, then we have to be very careful. So that's why it couldn't be a city event because it's trying to have Head Start only. I mean, a private group could put in an application and do that, but the city can't sponsor it because then we're excluding our youth.
Well, they service the youth in the group, the younger kids in the whole area here, the Troutdale, Mayfield, Fairview, Wood Village, all the Gresham area, all our kids that are under the age 5.
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. But
It was a good event, and hey, it's,
We'll
thanks
pick
for
it
the
up, we'll pick it
update,
up
and
next year.
yeah.
Pick it up next
see what
year.
happens in the future.
well, I do have some ideas if you don't mind, Bob.
Sure, go.
So as we're looking at, as I said, we're looking at, I'm going to be giving information to council to work on some decisions on how to run the board. So not run the board, but how to better connect the board with the council and kind of what they need. And one of the thoughts I had as you work on that is, if you wanted a project to work on, here's a good project. One of the things that has come, especially from Ben, is, can we work and take care of some of the park? Can we remove invasive species? Can we can't remove logs and things. We have a lot of really strict requirements on what we can and can't do. But I'm not opposed to having volunteer programs to do things. The problem is that back when I started 25 years ago in city government, it was like we had volunteer programs everywhere. Now we have liability and we have different issues. So I understand there are some cities like Lake Oswego, I think, has like a volunteer program. So I'm not opposed to us doing it. We'll have to run it through our insurance and make sure it works okay. We can design it, but we have to have some oversight. We make sure people aren't doing something outside the lines. But if this committee, if you want to do like a subcommittee, I would, not the whole committee, excuse me, but like a couple of you want to meet, gather some information on how we could put together a volunteer program, that would be wonderful. I have department heads, but I don't have any administrative staff. I finally have one person. We have an HR assistant who can help me a little bit with some emails and scheduling, but I don't have like a person I can just have them go work on this. So if you wanted to do some digging and put together some ideas, I'll be happy to do that and put that in place. We can make.
I mean, Portland's got a huge one.
Yeah, volunteer program, because I think one of the things that employees love to do things, and it's one thing to be working as a volunteer on an event when we're there,
Right.
because we pay, but having actually allowing people to go and like take care of things, we can do it. We have to make sure we have a program in place, and we gotta make sure our insurance is okay.
How about somebody under somebody else's umbrella, Solve or the Columbus Worship Council or,
We have our own liability insurance, Friends of Fairview Woods.
yeah,
Well, that's great. I mean, I just need to,
yeah,
if
yeah,
you want to put together some proposed
Yeah.
information on, I think that would be really helpful, because there
Mhm.
are so many things. And to give you a quick update on we have over 100 acres of parks. And like we talked about before, all of our parks are wonderful and beautiful. They are all passive parks, with the exception of one basketball hoop. We're a very small area down at Cleveland Park, and then we have some playgrounds. And our playgrounds need to be updated. As you can see, they're starting to get worn. We have no other sports. We have very limited parking. There's a lot of capital being done.
Yeah.
But we have 3 people who take care of our parks and all of our stormwater. We're taking care of all stormwater, the streets, animals and everything. And so we have over here in the village, we have these pocket parks, which really only serve the people that live there. So we have a lot of things. I mean, if there's a volunteer group that can help take care of some of those, that would be awesome.
right.
It would be really helpful to us. Our crews are out picking up trash for ODOT, well, not so much ODOT, but for our county. These are things I'm working on. Because we want to keep our city clean, but we're paying for services that really should be the county. So they take care of our county road, well, not completely, but some things. So I'm working on this from my end. I'm meeting with the county. I'm trying to reach out to David ODOT, trying to get ODOT start talking about things that they're not taking care of. So we got a lot of work to do there, but I'm saying if you wanted to look at some things like, I'm not suggesting you go out and mow parks, but like if you wanted to, there's some type of activity you wanted to do, like pick up trash. I mean, it's not glamorous stuff, but
Yeah, well, I,
Organization done that.
Yeah, we've sent MOUs to the city that we've created, just haven't heard back.
I used to,
well, we pick up trash. I pick up trash when I walk through the.
Yeah,
park.
I pulled out 50 pounds on Friday.
mayors. We did a lot of, we put out a call in the community to come.
Because we're
Yeah, that's
registered
definitely-
with the Secretary of State, where we have insurance, Friends of Fairview Woods. Cross the T's, dotted the I's, we got fiscal sponsorships, we applied for 8 grants. We got a couple more coming.
Nice.
I partnered with Metro. East Milton, like, we've got 15 partnerships, we're, tell us when. We're eager,
Yeah.
but I understand there's limited city to, like, we kind of need somebody to. Work with for that, and we don't currently have staff to kind of.
yeah, well, I will get there. It's just, I can only do so much at once. We have
Yeah.
a lot of serious things going on. But I can tell you that, picking up trash is not a problem.
Right.
The problem is, you can't be driving in the parks and using trucks and things to gather trash. I mean, I know it seems like it'd be really nice, but we really can't do that. We have to be super careful with everything. So yeah, there's a lot of programs. If you want to put together ideas, we get someone else on board, would be
Yeah.
helpful.
In the past, we did clean up, we had people come out and we'd set the bags alongside the road, and somebody with the city would come back later alongside the roads. and pick them up.
Yeah, and again, this is an advisory board. It's not, it's not a pick
Yeah.
up trash and take care of it board,
But
but
I mean, if we did have volunteers, I mean, it was
right.
choice vehicles, or, you know what I mean?
And that's what I'm suggesting. If you want to put together some ideas for programs, that we could have volunteers be part of it. And then if you want to volunteer, that's great. But I want to make clear this board is not, we're not asking you the board to take care of things.
No.
But so you can do that.
But I mean, so I probably 10, 12 years ago, I adopted Fairview Lake under the Solve Adopted River Program. So I hike around and pick up trash in the natural areas. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not hard.
I found a fish by my back step. Let me get there, some cat driven there.
No, a bird dropped it.
Oh, that's right.
So I'm going steps like this.
Like a bird,
Yeah.
right, I'll spray it, so.
So like on that, so then Fairview Summer Festival still in the work plan?
So are you wanting to have a booth like you've done in the past, or?
Well, we only ever did it one time.
Okay.
Last year was the first time.
Yes.
And, it's an opportunity to try to educate people about.
Was it, I wasn't able to attend, but I just remember there being some headaches with staff time and getting picnic tables and a booth and a canopy out there. Was that because that was
No,
last
there
minute?
wasn't any headaches with it. They had it.
Or am I thinking of fishing day? I may be confused.
Might be thinking of
Okay,
fishing
never
day.
mind.
So, the only thing, and Lydia and I and, Polly have discussed about, making sure that we have our own decorations this time. Cause there was a lot of people interested in and a lot of people asked questions about our parks. So what we wanted to do, to make sure this year was to make sure we had a survey available, a short survey for people to take about the parks. Kind of, what do you like, what you don't like? What would you like to see in your park, in the parks closest to you? Things like that, maybe, just do something, a real quick, short survey, maybe just 3 or 4 questions, nothing long. But we don't want them to be standing there 10 or 15 minutes, maybe it's 2 or 3 minutes. So we get an idea of what they like or they don't like about the parks closest to them in their area, Because people did ask questions. They didn't know that there were parks near them and things like that. There were things they didn't know about their parks.
The big thing I want to do now, just see if it's on our work plan or not necessarily try to solve the
Solve it,
problem
right,
in this meeting. But, we are limited to an hour, right? And so just to see. Consensus, are you,
The booths would be nice, also because the committee I used to be on used to help a lot with the actual event.
Right.
We might need more feet on the ground, just volunteering, even if you're not at the booth, some feet on the ground to help out with the
Right.
event. Helping direct vendors, places, things like that. Just helping at the event.
Good for that.
I'm good for that too.
Right.
If all hands are on deck for a big city event, it would be, if you're available, I know the summer schedules and
Right.
travel, but, with the, reduction and streamlining of the committees, I think more hands on help at the event might be needed.
I think so too, and I just wanna, we actually have a volunteer phone now to help out recreation department, you can get on that form and they'll help, it's a whole program that we have to do too. So
Yeah, I'm part of that and I get texts all the time, like I'm gonna help out at the Easter event. And if anybody here wants to show up for that and help hand out eggs to, it's so fun. You see all the little kids running around and it's a blast. It just brings joy to your heart.
so I kind of skipped over Tree City and I wrote down like support city efforts for Tree City USA.
We spent a lot of time on planning commission discussing that.
Okay,
And I know there was a appeal to go out for volunteers and there were,
Was that the tree task force?
Yeah.
that you're thinking?
well, that's different.
that was different.
Okay.
I think Guy and Ben both volunteered. Did you volunteer for the tree task force?
That's different than what we were,
Okay.
for the committee for the Tree City.
Excuse me, folks, I gotta run, but,
Okay.
one thing I wanted to say before I leave here tonight is, for a long time, those of you that know me and city council with me and stuff like that, having a bathroom up in a park has always been a big deal for me. And I really think that, my ideal bathroom was the concrete ones that they've had at like Nadaka Park and stuff like that. And I think it would be really nice if we ever had one like that. They're spendy. But I've heard people turn around and say, well, our parks are only day use parks and stuff like that. But look here, you still have to use the bathroom. And
Particularly for an older, as our population gets older,
Yep.
and I've seen a lot of that.
And younger.
And
And younger too.
young kids.
I work at a GI office. I've been a med tech there for a long time. There's a lot of medical conditions where people can't And it also puts a strain on local businesses if there's no public bathrooms, they have people running in, can I use your bathroom? You
Yep.
know, but I think even the Portland loos, which are nearly indestructible, and
That's
they're
what's-
around 180,000 to buy, but then there's a lot of money installing them with the plumbing and the electrical, and you can get solar panel things for them, but those less maintenance, if you don't have anything porcelain, because people don't just use bathrooms, unfortunately, you have. I work in Gateway, okay, so we get people, they rip the sinks
Yeah.
off of the wall, they break the toilet, they step, you need something. So like you say, concrete or like Portland or steel.
And I think the bathroom idea is in our parking lot for capital plans. We just heard that there's no money for it, so
Correct,
we understand there's need for
Yeah.
it. Okay, so we don't need to beat that to death.
Yeah.
Okay, we understand the need, so let's just move on.
But I will
Okay.
tell you that the
Thank
Portland
you,
Loop
ladies
is
and
something.
gentlemen, I
I'm gonna look at.
appreciate
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think
the money,
working your transitions.
no, we know it's not gonna happen.
Thank you.
Jazzy.
It's on my mind.
Yeah, okay, I know.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Alright.
Steve.
Thank you.
Take care.
Let's go.
Yeah. So, local share,
Real quick,
Oh.
Tree City.
yeah,
So I haven't got permission to disseminate this with Friends of Trees, but we have partnered with Friends of Trees. We're using one of our grants that came through. We're planting about 800 trees on Fairview Woods property. We're gonna have about 100 participants come out and plant
Nice.
trees March 28th. We're doing it on Home Forward's property. We do have a request out to the city. We're waiting to hear back to see. These have been hand selected by local arborists, green space managers, wetlands restoration specialists. They're all native species, locally sourced. It's all been approved through all specialists in these areas. We have plenty to plant in Fairview Woods Wetlands Park as well. We're waiting for permission from the city if we want to extend that effort. We also have our liability insurance as well that we sent that to the city too, for what it's worth. But that's March 28th, but we're just sticking to Home Forward's property, but unless we can get permission, there's plenty of trees. And 80% of that, the emerald ash is gonna be gone in 10 years. We're gonna lose that canopy. So we should have planted 20 years ago.
Yeah.
There's fire hazards, there's falling, it's. So
It
yeah,
sounds like a
so
real win because.
Tree
getting-
City, will say
Spending a
support.
lot of money,
Yeah.
yeah, having a win for the city, so.
Yeah, I-
Works.
Throw that
We're
out there.
reviewing it, there's a lot of things we can't do, like
Yeah.
remove, we're not supposed to remove trees and things that are down, it's supposed to be very minimal impact.
Yeah,
But no, I appreciate it, when we
Yeah.
just get the request for reviewing it, start out, I'm not,
Awesome. Thank you.
appreciate the offer.
Yeah.
Speaking of-
Hey, and on that same thing, so even if I could get somebody to donate, you know, Lake Shore Park, there's such a lack of shade in there.
Oh, God, is there a lot? of
Okay,
shade.
and you have that big open area in the middle. And I would love to plant 3 trees there. You know, even if you plant, $10 little things and throw them in, in 15 years, or at least you're doing something. So if I can get them donated,
I mean, that's a good question we could look at, I don't know about the middle, I mean, that's like a very, throw footballs and kick soccer balls, right? You're talking about like right in the middle,
and like, well,
which part are you talking about?
Lake Shore.
I don't know like tourists,
Yeah, I don't really,
it's not
I
like
think that,
between the pavilion and the,
yeah, I think that was more of an activity area.
well, I think it's definitely an activity area. I don't know
Okay,
How much it's used, but
right,
there's some soccer stuff.
right, yeah.
But no, I think the trees are wonderful, and that's actually part of the Tree USA. So we are gonna get the designation, and we will be moving forward. We have to do a little tree celebration. I told Sarah what we did in Tillamook, because we just planted 1 tree.
Right.
So-
Get together.
When he's talking about Lake Shore Park, okay, because I go there and dip into the water with my kayak. So there's there's the sidewalk there and there's this huge open space over here.
On the right,
Okay, so,
underneath the lines.
is
East or
there,
west?
you don't ask a woman that. How dare you?
The lake, you're going to the north, going to
Well, the
lake.
sidewalk is going to the lake, okay? The sidewalk goes to the lake where you're gonna dip, where I dip in. And so you've got the pavilion here sidewalk here, and you got this huge open space over here where 3 cars can park.
Yeah.
Right, okay, he knows what I'm talking about. So where are you talking about putting the trees, here or over here where the pavilion is? Cause there's an open space beyond the
Between
pavilion,
the two pavilions.
so you're talking about over here. So why can't we put the trees here and have this open space for playing soccer and football?
It could be. I also would like to, I mean, this is long-term planning.
Yep.
If we can, I'd like to put more of a parking lot in there. The problem we're having is we have 2 spots and an ADA spot.
So
And what happens,
there's only one ADA, yeah, right there.
There's one ADA.
There's one ADA, cause
That's-
I make a big deal about trying to get there as soon as I can to get it.
yeah, and if you use it, you should have it. And I know I've walked down there many times and there's 4 cars. They've got parked the ADA and the spot next to the ADA and then 2 others, and then the street's jam full, and it's like,
And there's actually only 3 parking spots there, not 4.
that is correct. That's exactly my
That's
point.
right.
The person using the ADA
Right.
are people without the sticker, and they're using the spot they're supposed to be reserved, so. Open for the ADA person.
So there's fitting 2 people in the ADA
Oh,
parking.
I'll take a picture next time I see one, yeah.
Oh,
They put 4 cars in there.
And I see, I haven't seen that when I'm there, cause I make sure I take my ADA spot there right away. And because I back in there. I don't go, yeah, I back in so I can get my kayak out.
So, Bob, great ideas.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm just saying that, kicking around some ideas is great. It's
Okay.
exciting to hear. And those
I
are
was
the type
trying
of
to
things
figure
that
out where
don't
you
cost
wanted
our
the trees.
Right.
And I was trying to figure out where he wanted the trees.
And then like, so on your local share, I know. I talked to Sarah once or 6 weeks, I can't remember what it was. And so they are working on that application, and is that
So I
actually an agenda item, or what?
think it's
Local
just.
share project event? Do you have an update on
I
it?
can give you a small update. So the
Okay.
city received,
$650,000.
yeah, I was gonna say it's 600 something, $650,000 from Metro a few years ago, actually. And it's not been used.
I read that too.
Just kind of laughing because things weren't done, but at any rate. So we are looking at, we were checking to see if we could use that money possibly, if we have to, for the underpass. The underpass on 223rd. That is, just to give you a quick update on that, there's an underpass around 223rd. It's very, very dangerous. And so the city has been working with the county and Union Pacific. And it's finally got to the place where Union Pacific is agreeable to do the I guess they're using easements there right away. So, yeah, it's actually, it's been in the works for years, but it's actually coming to fruition, which is great. It's already been designed. We're just waiting on that county and UP or Union Pacific to get those
Wow.
easements. So anyway, my point is like that project has to go forward, but I think we're going to be okay with the money we have. But this, we're looking at projects. So this is something that we could look at.
Mhm.
You could brainstorm. I mean, we have $650,000. It has to be used in parks. So we've taken a look at different things. I mean, one of the big things about this committee is looking at all the parks as well.
Well, I mean, I'd mentioned that before when it first came out. This, the way it reads is, you could provide access for all that City of Fairview folks in Metro's parks. Right now, they can't really bike or walk safely to both Blue Lake or Chinook Lake.
Yeah,
They can't.
it's terrible. It's
Safety
dangerous. I drive through it every day and there's people walking and it's terrible.
Yeah, I drive over there all the time.
And so,
Really glad that's.
It's in works.
There is a dream I have eventually, it would be really nice, is making Salish ponds ADA accessible and have better parking. We have fishing, we have stocked
there
ponds,
was an ADA right in South
Yeah, there's an ADA.
but there's not a lot of parking there. It's really hard to access the apartments. There's very little parking there, and there's not a good, really, like if you're in that parking lot, getting a wheelchair from that parking lot in
Right.
Salish Ponds Trail is, you can't really do that.
Yeah. It's funny,
I mean, it was,
there's been a road trail developed that everybody uses.
yeah,
Okay, but there's an 88 that is longer. That goes from the parking lot down. It's longer, but if you get to the parking lot, oh, there's the way I go down. It's just a road trail that's developed down to the path. but there isn't ADA.
There is.
Yeah.
Fast.
There's an ADA dock there, is it there?
Yes.
There's
Yeah.
And
I
there's
just,
an
it's just be
ADA.
better if it was a little more friendly. You know, in a little more parking, there's people parking all along the street.
I
There's
see
not
a lot of ADA people, they're using the Salish Pond, even not at the ADA dock.
Yeah, it just make it a little better, a little more
So
improvement.
I know.
Again, very limited parking. in our parks.
I'd have to go look and see. I know they were at the access from the school. That was supposed to be ADA also. And I'm not sure if that's got modified to do that.
It's not very well marked, you know what I mean, it's hard if you have somebody, like my father used a scooter and stuff, and getting around that area was very difficult for him. And so
There's a couple.
if things aren't well marked, if they're ADA, you know, it shouldn't be a secret.
That's true, things are not well marked.
And I think on the scooter, anything, you know, a little better and a little more accessible parking.
Do you
itself.
know where the ADA, have you seen the ADA?
I walk around there a lot, I haven't even really seen
From the
it
parking lot, there is one from the parking lot
through the trail.
to the trail.
Is it paved?
I don't think it's paved.
It's
Very good.
really hard when it's not.
Very
paved.
little, well, the trail's not paved.
Right,
So, I mean.
Yeah.
It's eventually you
Kind of-
have to lease payment.
I've already been through this with another trail that
Yeah,
some
but I mean,
residents
it's hard
can
for,
move out.
you know, it's not well marked. Maybe it's better, a little more improvement.
You see where people have taken the shortcut down the hill. And that's not the true access point.
I got lots of desires and dreams for that place. We
Yeah.
need more parking, we need more accessibility, I totally
Right.
agree. We also need a park, restaurant that's actually open.
Mm.
Portland Loop, but I've also got to have people patrol it, take care of it, because when it's been open, passive and pet license.
Right, that's the other
Yeah,
thing.
people just tear.
That's
them
why,
apart.
and that's what I've heard why the bathroom hasn't been redone or
That's right. They open
Because
up
of-
one day, it's closed.
it's totally destroyed, exactly.
That's, yeah, I work in Gateway and we can't have open bathrooms at our clinic to non-patients because
The same thing.
rip the sinks off, break the actual toilet. I mean,
It's crazy.
it's insane. What they do to the bathrooms, it's not just.
Yeah, I got communities that gate, are supposed to be secure communities in there, and I've got people calling me saying they got people coming in from the outside using the walls and the floors because they got no bathrooms,
Hey, get back. So what's your
Yeah.
time frame on your local show?
Bathrooms are
So,
horrible.
we don't meet again until April. So if you want any input from this group.
Yeah, I think, I don't know the full, but Bob, I think one person from the group could reach out to Sarah,
Okay,
probably the best. She and Nate are working on it.
Mhm.
Actually, Nate
Um,
Midgley is our project manager on it. So
okay.
either one can be reached out to and you can get some information distributed to the community if you'd like.
Do we know when the Fairview Summer Festival is? Do we have a date for it?
I don't know about actually.
It's not
Usually
going
like the
third
end of
week in July.
or something, or?
Because I have
Same
another,
always.
yes.
It's probably on the website. Probably look it up. Tag calendar.
Okay, I'll reach out to him and then I'll forward it. To the committee.
If we only meet once a quarter, do we want to break off in like some subcommittees and work on some stuff? And do updates? I think that would be.
That would be excellent. That's,
I think there's rules, I don't know what the rule.
Can't be
Public
Right,
meeting, you
three.
can't have the quorum,
Three more than three, or you can't have more.
You can have quorum.
not more than three, because state law requires it.
Yeah,
Anything after that is a public meeting and needs to be recorded or minutes taken
and
and
broadcast it now too.
broadcast.
and I think,
Oh, you gotta be careful.
we have to be careful with group texts and emails as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, but subcommittees can report back to you and you can,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's just. Cause I think we
I
need,
have plenty of.
if we don't meet often here, we need to make progress outside.
Yeah, the idea of the subcommittees is to gather information, put their ideas, and you bring it back to that's the whole idea of the committee being every quarterly. You go back and say, hey, now we've got all these ideas, we want to do some recommendations or something. So just as long as you're not, making, not that you make decisions because you're advisory,
Correct.
but not that you're making like you're you have to make sure those types of things are done in public, but you can gather information, like 3 people could meet and talk. And that's actually the perfect way. That's what I'm trying to get the committees to go towards.
Bring concrete stuff to the actual.
Yes.
Okay, so how about a volunteer subcommittee? That's one thing that, a request we had. Any volunteers for the volunteer subcommittee?
What's the volunteer subcommittee?
It's a,
That's how to recruit friends of HOAs, groups to provide assistance to
I was thinking more like.
maintenance of the parks.
Ideas to put together a program,
Okay,
but you can also.
but like ideas on how to generate volunteers.
Well, ideas for framework, like for example, pulling the program guidelines for like Oswego.
Okay,
I've already done that
yeah,
with Metro and Gresham and a few others surrounding on how they work with their cities for that. So I've already got that information. So
we
I'll be on
talked,
that subcommittee.
we had a conference call with Portland Parks Foundation too.
I can make a suggestion that maybe you should send out for the folks that weren't here tonight, Holly and Linnea, and let them know so that if they want to
They have an
volunteer.
opportunity.
Yeah,
I'll help it, you know, if somebody else has a passion too, let them, I mean, I don't need to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, I'm like, if you need help, let me know.
Yeah.
And if somebody else has a deeper passion for that, take that. Do you have any, you look like you have a lot of irons in the fire with things and information, stuff you've been working on, is there some other subcommittee? That you know, something else you'd like to work on besides volunteers, do you think would be helpful?
We had a loose subcommittee. I forget her name. Because we were doing the Fairview Woods subcommittee.
Yeah.
She was our vice
she
chair.
was doing a grant,
It didn't fall through. I'm reapplying for that grant.
and I think that's what the subcommittee was.
Is that called?
Rise Up grant. It's that grant.
But I'm thinking that in April,
But what was the committee called? Or the subcommittee? Called, is that what I'm trying to remember about?
we'll need to set up a subcommittee for.
You want to form it in April? Is that fine?
No, I'm thinking in April, we need to set up a subcommittee though for the summer festival.
Right.
I'll definitely help out with that.
I will
one,
too, and
since
I think and I think Linnea and or Holly will want to help out if one of the guys don't step.
Yeah.
It's like, that's okay, girl.
With all my years of helping at the festival, I
It's like, yeah,
I do
yeah.
good.
And by then I should be in a different space. Right now, I'm in a really not a very good space right now. And
Yeah, I don't have it.
I need things to mellow out in my
I
life.
could go look for the minutes and find it.
Yeah.
When was it that we created it?
That's right, kind of look. We don't need to.
Okay, because I got March and February's. And it's,
Do we need like maybe a subcommittee for grants or for like to pull in funds or?
We could. I mean, I've gotten pretty skilled at it. I've written about 12 now in the last 8 months now. So,
I don't know. So
but once again, we can't do anything for probably another 2 years. We don't have, like, I'm applying for grants and I have the nonprofit status and I can do things, but not on city property. And we don't have anybody in the city that can, we're just understaffed at the city level. They don't have the bandwidth to, if I catch the tiger by the tail, I've been catching these tigers, but I can't do anything because the city doesn't have the staff.
right,
And so all my projects are through my nonprofit. And we're working where we're allowed on non-city property. Like we're chomping at the bit to work with the city, but the city just doesn't have the staffing right now. And it's just like. But we understand where the city is at right now. So it's just,
I appreciate that.
it'll get there.
Yeah, it'll get, yeah,
so we're doing what we can on private at the moment.
it'll be
Yeah.
so last
a
March,
good learning experience.
it does say
For
here,
this-
work group to draft or work group to continue researching and applying for relevant grants for parks redevelopment. And you guys had already made that work group by March.
That was Ben, I, and
Uh,
I feel so bad.
Genevieve.
Genevieve.
Thank you. I'm looking at it and I can't say it. Thank you, guys. I'm horrible about that.
I don't know if we're still on the other. or before we
That's
get to it.
other.
Kind of looping back, I don't, like, I know a lot of the, back to the master plan capital projects. I think in the past, like we were saying, I've been confused about work projects or work group versus the capital projects. I do have one recommendation. I don't know how to make it official to recommendation to council. I've been pushing just for one more trash can in Fairview Woods. I carry a trash bag and whenever I stroll my kid around and I see other people, it's like there's one at the road at the very entrance and you pick up trash and you do these loops. And you put the trash back down because you know you're doing loops through the park and you don't want to carry this piece of trash and there's like these little figure 8 loops. And then you don't pick up the trash because you're not doing, and then you don't do that loop till your way out. But if there would be one at the south end as well, that way you, as you're walking past.
Yeah, like going home, which property? Where you
Yeah, more toward like there's, but instead of going all the way out to Home Forward, like where the city property is, just at that 4-way split.
I'll speak to the city. I can see the advantage of having it right by the road where they can pick it up easily.
That's the problem, you know, picking up inside the park is a lot more work. That's the difference. That's why it's by the entrance.
But they do hop on the 4-wheeler, the Gator thing.
They sold it.
Not the Gator, they've
Not the
got
Gator.
the mini track, whatever you call it, but the side by side. It's not the Gator that they sold. It's
Okay.
the utility city thing. They come and that's what they use to actually pick up the trash. So they do a lap through the park with that. But just to play devil's advocate.
Well, I mean, that's something we can look at.
But once again, we're an advisory committee and
Right.
what they choose to take up.
I think you need to wait till the new public works director's on board.
I can't wait either.
Yeah. The only other thing I have is, I'm not sure, Mason had a conversation, but I see the ivy's been whacked down at Pelfrey Park. For the city staff, whoever got that done, some ivy's been whacked down on some of those big trees.
Yes.
So thanks whoever got that done, that's all I.
Yes, I brought it up to John and John, I think we had cultivated initiatives come in and take care of that, but that's one of those things that had to be done.
Yeah.
It's been there a long time. Thank you for noticing.
And then question for if volunteers do want to do stuff or do it through a Solve event and Solve has their insurance and waivers as well. Who do we access for permitting or permission or like city planner permit you, Sarah? But like Miguel has helped with that, like who do we direct those requests to?
See, for right now, Sarah, and actually we have, let's see, you could do the permitting email. If you go to, but a quick update on our website, if you go to our website, you can go in there and we have a whole new setup. Pull it through real quick for you. We actually have.
I had the agenda up on my phone, in case you didn't have them.
Something, if I can find it here. We have a whole new way of getting hold of people. These are the departments. So if you go to staff, what we have here, these go to specific emails. So if you go to community development, you click on this, you can submit a request. Well, this under the email.
Sarah Sheldon, she was right.
Yeah, Sarah Sell's right there, but what I'm saying is that rather than having her email, you do is you fill this out, and then once it goes in, I can give you the email too, it just goes into a specific email, and that email is monitored by multiple people. And that way we're getting things taken care of
Okay,
quicker.
Goes to the right bucket.
Correct.
Okay.
Exactly, so then we have, and then what I've done is. We have over here, back up here. So if you go to so you got administration, so. If you send an email administration, it goes to me and it goes to our HR assistant now, so they can follow up quicker than I can, because I get thousands of emails a month, it's insane. Building services, city council still has their own, but community development, we have finance, police, public works, recreation, I think this breaks down the code enforcement. Anyway.
Code enforcement, okay,
Yeah, so, yeah, code enforcement's under community development, I think it breaks down.
it's all John's name there.
Yeah, John Berlin, so If you click on this one, it's gonna go to our code enforcement email rather than just directly to John.
Right,
And so we have Anastasia and we have John and Sarah on that particular email.
Perfect.
Anastasia also monitors, she's the number one person who monitors that email. And then we have, if you click on this one, you're gonna go to our permitting. And then Alex goes to our planning email and that's monitored by multiple people. So anyway, my point is that, and then once you put it in there and you get an email back, you can see the address. And I could go look at, I can't remember, I want to say permitting is permit at Fairview, Oregon. I just can't remember exactly. I could pull that, but
That'll be a good starting point.
yeah, it's a good place. That way we can start getting things, I'm trying to get things more on the inside. We're
right.
getting things more streamlined. We're getting things categorized and the past was just kind of everywhere. So it's some big pushes inside. We're doing all kinds of stuff on the interior to make things a lot better and get our documents and processes in place, but.
It makes that easier and efficient for you guys.
I want it to be efficient. I really truly want it to be where you have a request, you put it in, and even if we can't do it, at least you, or immediately we get it. It's like, if you have anything to report, like on the roads, if you just email, you can go on here to Public Works, or you can just email Public Works at Fairview, Oregon. That government's monitored by multiple people. You have a question about any parks or any streets or right of ways, anything that you send an email in, and then we monitor it, take care of it.
Nice.
It actually goes into a work order system. If it's for the county, we send it out. We're trying to get there. We got a lot of things to work on.
You're not even coming in from ground level, you're kind of digging out of a hole, so.
Extremely.
And yeah.
I mean,
But I feel like I've seen improvements though, you know, like I want to give credit where credit is due, you know.
thank you, we're trying.
Yeah,
It's, yeah.
We're great
The
team.
more I've peeled back, the more I'm like,
it
okay.
was out of the hole. I mean, my gosh.
Anything else under other? Anything else? Going once? Anything? Motion to adjourn?
So I get real quick, just, so you said we're okay to email the entire BRAC about opportunities for subcommittees? That's, where do we have to have?
You are, as long as there's not a discussion.
It's on.
If you send it out and say, is anybody willing to volunteer? That's cool. But if we start communicating back and forth, then it becomes a meeting.
I just didn't know if we needed to do under the light of day and everyone to form the subcommittee, or if we can all like blast everyone. Get 3 people to say I'm in and then we're okay, or if that violates.
Well, a couple of things. Number one, I mean, you're never gonna be super worried about an advisory committee, but still, we want to still follow the law. So I'm just saying, if something slips, it's not gonna be a huge deal. But you still want to be careful. What I would recommend you do is you have a one point person like, say, Bob.
Yeah.
And so people email Bob, hey, I want to do this subcommittee. And Bob writes back and says, hey, you 3 want to meet. That's great. Go ahead and put me.
Perfect.
The other thing too, I do, this is something I do with the council. Not everybody does it, but I'm trying to get to that point. But when I send the council an email, I specifically send it to myself. I BCC, blind carbon copy all the council. And that way, because I've had this in the past where councilors, they didn't mean to, but they'd write back, oh, what about this? What about that? The next thing you know, it's a public meeting and that's not legal. So I purposely will just send to myself a blank carbon copy to everyone. And that way they all get the email, but they try to hit respond when it comes to me. I mean, I wouldn't say you have to get that detailed about it and what you're doing. I'm more concerned because of policy making, decision making. But I would just say the best thing to do is, just email it individually. Just email Bob, say, hey, I'm interested in this committee, this committee, and he can email you out. Or you could.
I can blind CC it, no.
Probably everybody,
They told me the trick.
For whatever committees we want.
Yeah.
And I don't think it hurts to do the Fairview Festival Committee.
Right.
Now, we don't have to wait for the next meeting. And I'm good with that one and any other event.
Yeah, for example, you could list out 3 or 4 minutes and I'll say, hey, anybody interested in subcommittee, just email me directly. They email you, say Marsh and Ben, say, hey, we want to be on this committee, email them both. Hey, great, go meet.
Mhm.
Excuse me. And then you come back to this meeting in 3 months from now and you report what you've been doing.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing.
Against it. I just need your email, and then, adjourn?
Second.
All in favor?
I'm gonna say aye.
I'll write down my email more, yeah. And my phone number
That's
will
perfect.
go to.
Chief.
I don't know.